Hello there, and welcome to this week's episode of Environmental Issues.
Today we're going to talk about the popular activity of hunting. Hunting is known as pursuing and killing wild animals for food or game. This activity came to be when our ancestors needed food to live, and their only source of food at the time was meat off of wild animals such as buffalo or caribou.
Over time, hunting in the wilderness for food became less common as people began to buy their meat from local grocery stores, and hunting began to turn into more of a game. Some people still eat their prey, but many hunt wild animals just for fun, which has led to some of the problems our world has with hunting today.
One problem with hunting today is some people believe it is a large violation of animal rights. Many people think it is a cruel act, and some want recreational hunting to be abolished. They think it is unethical and just plain wrong.
Many people believe hunting is cruel and should not be allowed because there are some species that have become extinct due to hunting. Examples of species that have become extinct are the Tasmanian tiger and the great auk. They are no longer living species because they were hunted too often. Also, one study showed that 22 deer were shot and wounded out of a group of 80, leaving them alone to live horrible and painful lives.
The issue is that hunters proceed to hunt, even though they may be destroying a species of wild animals. Some people only think about the profits they'll receive because of hunting, rather than the negative effects they force upon wild species, causing some to go extinct.
In the future, hunting will certainly stir up more problems. As more people begin to hunt and the more popular the sport becomes, more and more species of wild animals will become endangered or even extinct. The number of wild animals has an indirect relationship to the frequency of hunting. The more people hunt, the lower the population of wild animals drops.
Although it causes many issues, we can definitely solve them. For one, we can establish laws that state animal rights. As well as gun control and gun laws, animal laws shall be passed too to help decrease the massacre of wild animals.
Although hunting has many negative effects, there can be some benefits in certain perspectives. For example, some hunters will argue that they are limiting the populations of some species that don't necessarily have predators. If the hunters act as the predators towards some species, they will keep the populations controlled. Another argument that hunters will speak of is that killing wild animals can be seen as the same action as killing chickens and cows for the common people. Some hunters will even argue that hunting is the only source of food that they have.
In order to fight back against the hunters, some people will say that hunting is an immoral and devastating act towards animal rights. Also, some will say that there is no direct benefit to the game that was caught. Because of the game constantly being caught, eventually some species will entirely become extinct. And lastly, recreational hunting is disastrous toward natural wildlife. That concludes this week's episode of Environmental Issues.
See you next time, folks.